That's what it means. Don't let the unbelief of them trouble you. All right, because it doesn't matter what they believe and what they don't believe. Because when it's all said and done, they're going to be destroyed and we're going to be delivered.
That's right.
That's the end result. We got to look at the end result. Yeah, we living in the now. We living in the current time. But what about the end result? What's the end result going to be? The majority of the group of people say they don't believe, but what's going to be the end? What's going to be our end? Go on, bro.
Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Right. No, go on.
Verse 4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Right. All the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man. Give me Revelation 21 verse 8. Because how are they going to die? How are the unbelieving are going to die?
So Revelation 21 and 8.
You're going to be... Okay.
Revelation 21 and 8. But the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with the fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
And that's the end result. The end result is that they're going to be burned on fire. What fire are we talking about? What, the fire that we're going to create? No, we're not going to burn nobody. Those missiles are going to do that job. The fire that we're talking about, we're not talking about some fire we're going to start by ourselves, by getting some lighters, getting some oil, and set people's house on fire. No, the ICBM missiles are going to do that job. So if you don't believe in this word and you're going contrary to it, that's going to be your destiny. Go on, bro.
So Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High.
Exactly. You're going to have a lot of people that's going to take that mark. The RFID microchip, they're already bringing it out on the BBC News. Just did a little olive on it. You had this, these two young individuals. You had this woman, and you also had this one dude, looked to be about probably 19 or 20 or something like that. And they said, and I believe they're agents, young agents that are set up to push this idea of transhumanism to the public. Because once the young ones get this this microchip, guess what? Everybody else is going to follow suit, and then everybody has to jump on the bandwagon because people are so accustomed to trends. Yeah. So when there's a trend that comes out, everybody wants to be down with that trend. Yeah. You understand? So that's how the elite or the people that run the media get the people. All right, because the media is a very powerful tool that they use to get the groundlings to follow their ways. And what they did was they used a technique called gradualism. Now, because let's just say, for example, they smacked the people with the idea of being chipped, right? People are going to resist it all the way through. But when you gradually promote it and use also predictive programming at the same time, in due time, people are not going to find it so weird and strange. And then they turn it into a fad. People love fads, don't they? So they turn it into a fad, and then people got to jump on the bandwagon and get this particular thing. That's why they're going to use rap stars, and I think they're already doing it now. Yeah. You got rap stars, you got entertainers, you got sports people. Because people like to watch football. Yeah. People like to watch all kind of sports and all kind of forms of entertainment. So if your favorite entertainer has a chip, you're going to get the chip. You understand? So that's how they're going to pull this thing off. In many forms of ways they can pull it off.
Even there was an interview I shared in the chat of David Icke, and he was saying about how the whole gradualism thing, and he was saying you can't just go from computers straight to RFID chips. He said you've got to gradually do it from computers to smartphones, smartwatches, and eventually it will come to inside you. Because it's too much of a shock if you just jump straight to the RFID chip. You've got to do it slowly and slowly.
Exactly, and that's how it is when you're taking them cold showers. Sometimes I do. Right? You taking them cold showers, man. You gotta go real slow, especially when you begin to do it the first time. And you gotta build yourself up. So what Esau is doing, Esau knows all the all the stuff in the books, man.
Yeah.
That's why it says, "For thou art wiser than Daniel." You understand? Because they know how to get the people. They've done the research. They conspired so secretly. Matter of fact, let's get that. Somebody give me that. Psalms. You're going.
Just wanted to say because another way he says going to make
Protesters
it.
coming this way.
Huh?
There's
What's that?
like loads of protesters coming this way. Like hundreds of them.
All right.
So it's going to play this to your benefit. So it's going to make you believe that, you know, getting this chip, you know, before he forces it on you, it's going to be a benefit. So, you know, like you're purchasing, your opening of your front door, you're logging into work and all these sorts of things. So, and you know, all these sorts of ways he's going to make it out to be like he does with most things that aren't really to your benefit. He makes it out to be to your benefit.
Exactly. And it goes back to the whole thing.
Climate change protest, isn't it? Yeah.
Uproar the people, maybe. Yeah. So we're already in the midst of it already. We're already in the midst of it already. So that shows you, brothers, what I'm saying. We at the end of this thing, man, because everything that the Lord said, the Lord gave us signs and things to look out for. And one of the signs is that you're going to start seeing commotions amongst the people. And this is what we see happening right now.
Yeah.
So everything is happening all at the same time, and this is why, you know, the brothers up north, you know, beginning with that brother Ramar, their channel was shut down. And then we dealing with these fucking protesters acting crazy and shit. So everything's culminating and building up, which is alluding to the end of this world, which is a beautiful thing. Yeah, so where you at, brother? Yeah, you can give me that. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, basically we're Avengers, isn't it? We're in the end game, all right? And now things are moving quite quickly now, man. The chip is being promoted. Them rappers are gonna rap about the chip, and these niggas are gonna take it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because those celebrities, they're just high-priced slaves.
That's all they are. They're just puppets in the midst.
It's puppets.
Guiding the people where they want, because people don't believe in the Most High. People don't believe in God. They believe in what they see on TV. Okay, and the proof of that is the fact that, let's say if Denzel was in this camp right now, everybody and their grandmothers and their grandfathers would stop what they're doing completely. Okay, and come right here because they see Denzel. But Herodes were exemplifying of the Most High, right? And no one's even stopping to see what we're saying. So that shows you where the hearts of the people are at. Their heart is based on what they see on TV. And trends and fashions and all of that. Yeah, so brother, we got something. Okay.
So it's 2nd Ezra 6 and 1. So 2nd Ezra 6 and 1. He answered me then and said, mention thou the time diligently in itself.
Right.
And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the earth which he made.
So who is the highest that's going to visit the world which he made? Yahweh Shah is the highest that's going to visit the world which he made. Okay, and we're seeing the signs of his second coming. We're seeing everything that's written in scripture. Even from the book of Luke, I believe it's the 21st chapter, to Matthew's the 24th chapter, and also prophecies that's also written in 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter. So all of these things are coming in effect, showing the main men of the Lord, which are standing here throughout the four corners of the earth, to let them know that the end is about. Because we're at the end of the world. Okay? We don't got time. We don't got too much time here.
That's right.
Maximally, I would say we got probably another 2 years left. Okay, and if that's not the case, we probably got 6 months. Lord willing. That's the way it looks to me. Go on.
So,
Scripture say, will come upon them as travail comes upon a woman.
Yep.
So it means it can be like this today, and then tomorrow, all hell can break loose.
Yep.
So it can be instant, and it can be over within a week.
Yep. Go 5 months. It could be 3 months. So it's just a matter of, and this is why the apostles is getting hard on brothers, and that to make sure that brothers is on point with the videos and also being circumspect, man. Because I'm on the news every second, seeing what the hell is going on, because everything is put in place already. Esau put every single thing in place. So at any given moment of time, shit can just break out. Go on, bro.
That's why the scripture says, when it comes, it shall not tarry, meaning that it's going to happen real quickly. It's not going to take a long time. Like Jacob's trouble is going to be a whole year, and then after that, no, it's going to come real quick.
Right.
Scripture said, correct if I'm wrong, but America will be destroyed in 1 hour.
In 1 hour, exactly. So the Most High.
Yeah, man. So I was watching I think it was today or yesterday, and they're talking about how there could be an economic crash in as early as 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, because they keep printing money to push the economy. Just the other time I sent this brother's article, they put it like 53 billion to save the economy or to save the dollar from collapsing.
That's not gonna happen, because what they're doing is this, what is it? And it's actually making it worse. When you're printing money, you're actually making it worse, because what are you doing? You're deducting the worth of the pound or whatever your currency is. All right, and that's what you call quantitative easing, and that's why the American dollar ain't worth a damn. The only worth that the American dollar got is the pressure behind it, because of all of this printing money. All right, but see, people don't know better. They think, okay, if we print more money, then we're gonna get more money. No, what you're gonna do is you're gonna add less value to the currency.
That's right.
So you're fucked. Either way you look at it, the society that they're in, they're fucked. What country is it? No, what you were speaking of? Oh, America, yeah. So it's pretty much screwed. It's screwed. So America's done. America's only destined to be destroyed.
That's right.
And that's just the thing. You got these Edomites talking about how they're American, and based on that, they could just go to any country they want. They can do what they want to do. They can flaunt themselves and all of this other nonsense, because they're simply American. But as the scripture says in the book of Obadiah, pride have deceived them. And Donald Trump, he's going to make the wrong moves as he's doing right now, but he's going to make a wrong move, which is going to lead to that ultimate world war. Okay? Go on, bro. All right, go on.
So back in Second Ezra's 9 and 3. Therefore, when thou shalt be seeing earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
Right, uproars and earthquakes. What is it? Earthquakes and uproars of the people. Got to sit that wrong. In the world. So that's what we're seeing right now. Like, we're seeing these jackasses out here protesting about climate change. Okay? Thinking that that's going to change the world. That's going to change things. Protesting is going to change things. No. It's not going to change anything. Because everything's already preordained to take place. Yeah, we know that the world is screwed up. We know that the earth is under some fucking. Yeah, we get that. All right? But the one that's going to change everything, and the one that's going to change the world, is Yahweh Shai. He's going to be the one changing everything back in its order. Right. Because as long as these devils, these crackers continue to rule the earth, this earth is going to continue to go right down the toilet.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Go on, bro.
These protesters, man, they're not holding up signs saying death to Esau. Let's take Esau out of power. They're just saying, oh, let's lower the carbon limit. Let's get
Right.
But they're Edomites though. So why?
Exactly.
The object, when I was watching it on the news, the object of the protest is to slow down traffic, to stop traffic, to be in the middle of the traffic, to stop the traffic, to draw attention to the climate, that what's happening is getting worse. And one old lady said, yeah, I was arrested before I did it, but I don't mind, I have to be arrested, I'll be arrested again. And she's an old, she said, I'm doing it for my grandchildren, because they're going to have to suffer. So they ain't got nothing else to do. So that, you know.
Just basically, go on, bro.
Another reason the protest is because none of these people are seeing a kingdom after this kingdom. They are seeing this kingdom as in continuing on and on and on, and they're seeing without Esau or without this kingdom, basically there'll be nothing. Yeah. It's gonna be this. That's why it's climate change is gonna destroy us all. Yeah. You know, they don't see that there's gonna be a kingdom after this kingdom. There's gonna come in power, man. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
And that,
None of them are seen anything. Even Jack, man. Jack is comfortable here because they're not seeing past this kingdom, man. They don't see that there's a kingdom that's coming for them. All right. Everybody thinks Esau is always gonna be always gonna be on top, always gonna be in power. America is always gonna be in power, but it's not so, man.
Now the rulers, they want to tax you to fix the mess that they've made. They want to put a tax on the people to fix climate change.
Yeah.
Now, if that's not, as we say over here, taking the piss, I don't know what is, man. If you really want to look at who's causing the problems, who's spreading the chemtrails, and the massive carbon footprints, as they say, you know, who's polluting the place, man? It's Esau.
It's Esau. They're the ones that's doing it.
It all stops at Esau.
Yeah.
But he wants to charge you for it.
Yeah. So that's my point. So all of this protesting is a waste of time because the real change, right? The real change, like I said, is going to come from Yahweh Shema Shai. There has to be a change of power structures. The power structure that we got now is the complete wrong power structure. All right, and this power structure is responsible why the whole wide world is in shit right now because their thing is just to go contrary to the Most High. That's their plan in orders. So all of this protesting, if the power structure hasn't changed, you're going to be protesting. You're going to be protesting forever, and nothing's going to get done. Go on, bro.
This is Isaiah 2:1. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
Right.
Verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountain.
And that's the bottom line. That's going to be where things are going to operate on a positive level when we're in that position of power. Okay, and let's just say Esau did know that there was going to be a power structure, the next power structure coming. That would be bad for him because that means that they would have to realize that the next power structure is us. And what that also then tells is that they're going to be in slavery.
That's right.
And that's not a good thing, man. So even then, subconsciously, they're hoping like hell if they, protesting is going to do the change, but it ain't going to do nothing.
I wish it's not true, but it's true.
It ain't going to do nothing. Protesting is not going to do nothing. It's not going to solve anything. It's a waste of time. And the reason why I can say that because I can foresee what's to come already anyway.
Right. These protests are going to turn into bloody riots.
Exactly. They're not going to go nowhere with this thing. And what's going to happen is the protesting is going to turn into riots, like the brother just said. They're going to rise up against the government. The police are going to have to get in tune with fighting these people or killing these people. That's what it's going to get down to. It's going to get to the point where they're going to have to bring the tanks down here. They're going to bring these black trucks around here, right, to situate the people. Okay, go on, brother.
That's Sirach 10 and 8, and it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit,
right?
The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Exactly, man. So because of unrighteous dealings, one kingdom is going to be destroyed, and the wealth is going to be translated to another. And that power that Esau got, we're going to get that power.
Right.
And we're going to get that wealth. All right, and dealing with England as a whole, Westminster is responsible for a lot of shit, slavery, and also hoarding the wealth that they got from slavery. Okay, so going back to what I'm saying, if the powers that be are still in the position of power to this very day, beginning with Westminster all the way up to the top tier, the Brown Charles family, nothing's going to change. Okay, but like I said, when we get into the power seat, that's when the shit is going to change. Because we're going to know what to do with the earth. And plus we're going to have the law, statutes, commandments in our heart to show forth the example of righteousness, man. Go on, brother.
It's at Revelation 21 and 1, and it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
Beautiful, brother. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Wherein what?
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
And there was no more sea. So the first heaven is the heaven that we're living in right now. The renewance, the restored heaven is going to be when Yahweh Shai comes into power. All right? That's going to be the righteous society. The earth is going to be pristine and clean, and the agent that's going to purify the planet is the nuclear fire. Fire is going to clean everything up. Because all this bullshit gotta come down. I don't mean to say bad words, brother. But that's what's going to happen. Come on, bro.
Verse 2, and it says, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Exactly. So John, the Revelator, the guy that was in the island of Patmos, because he was what's the word when he was deported out of Rome to the island of Patmos, and that's where he got those visions from. So he saw New Jerusalem coming down. So what does that mean? Meaning we're going to be beamed up in them chariots, and once all of the dust is settled, we're going to come back down here and set everything in order. Therefore, setting up the New Jerusalem, the new kingdom. Because there's going to be a new empire that's going to be set up after this empire. All right, brother. You get precept. Let him finish this, and then you can get your precept.
It's Isaiah 14 and start verse 4. Isaiah 14 and 4. That thou shalt take up a proverb. I can't select it. Verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Yeah.
The Lord have.
No, go on, my bad.
The Lord have broken the staff of the wicked.
Right,
and the scepter of the rulers.
Right, the Lord have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Because what is a staff? A staff is an instrument when you hold yourself up when you can't walk. So what is the thing that's holding Esau up? His power. So the Most High is going to break his power, right, and also take his scepter away. Because what is also a scepter? A scepter is likened unto a crown. It's a thing which declares your rule, your kingship. All right, so the Most High is going to break every little thing that we see over here, and including the powers that be in their power structure. And they're going to make wrong decisions that's going to lead up to their self-destruction. You got any more now?
Yeah, there's a bit.
Go on, bro.
Verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth.
Right, they that rule the nations with anger is persecuted. So they're going to be persecuted, man. Because Esau, they were the nation that ruled with the sword. They were the ones that went into Afghanistan. They were the ones that went into Iraq because of this whole lie, going back in 2001, and killed millions of people because of it. And you got people still to this very day that are pissed off about it, man. Because Tony Blair killed a lot of people due to this war, under the false lie of weapons of mass destruction. And this is why everybody in Britain hates Tony Blair, man. You know, and President Bush. So they're ruled with the sword. This is what prophecy is stating that they would do. So let's read that again.
Isaiah 14 and 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted.
It's now persecuted. And how they're going to be persecuted? Say, brother, somebody give me Psalms. Somebody get me Psalms, what is it, man? 49, Psalms 49. It says, the kings shall be minded up. Psalms 147. Okay, go on.
This is verse 7. The whole earth is at rest.
Right, but
and it's quiet.
Right, the whole earth is at rest and it is quiet. Why? Because the righteous are going to reign supreme.
That's right.
That's why the earth is going to be quiet. Even the animals are going to be enjoying themselves once again. The animals are stressed out. Even in captivity or out of captivity, they're stressed out. Because the powers that be, or the people that's ruling the earth, the inhabitants of the earth, they got everything misconstrued.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, because
So when we get it going, brother.
now they have a navigation system. The birds, for example, have a navigation system, and all the chemtrail pollution that's up there is messing with the navigation system. That's why at one period there was a load of birds that just dropped out. They just came out of the sky and was on the floor, and they were looking up as if to say they can see something. People was looking at them saying as if to say they can see something that's up there, and they were scared to go up there. So that's just the natural navigation system has been messed up by what is it? You got the M5 and all that. The what do you call that thing? The new thing that they're doing now with the radiation, 5G and all that. That's it. with the poles that are all up in the sky, and
Right.
it's messing up with the navigation system, natural navigation system of the birds and the animals. That's just one
I went
example.
down to my old town where I used to live at when I was young, right? Years ago. I went down there, what did I see? I saw seagulls, man. What is a seagull doing in the park? They should be in the beach. So everything's misconstrued. Esau don't mess everything up. And what Esau's doing, Esau's tempting the Most High. But the Most High's gonna have him push that wrong little button right there. And yo, all hell's gonna break loose from him. Alright? And the way that he's gonna do that is by setting up this microchip system. Once he set that up and mandate that bad boy, then the Messiah's gonna make his return. Anyway, finish that.
It says, they break forth into singing. Verse 8, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow has come up against
Right,
us.
so when we get into the power seat, the whole earth is gonna rejoice. Every living creature you can think about is gonna be rejoicing.
That's right.
Okay, because they're gonna feel the vibration of love on the earth, the vibration of positivity on the earth, the vibration of hate and negativity is on the earth right now, and this is why everybody's miserable as all hell, me included. Okay, all of us brothers out here.
Yeah.
Because the powers that be, or the nation that's running the earth, they're running it down to the mind. Go on, bro.
So Proverbs 31, 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Yeah.
But when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn.
Right, but when the people bear rule, the people mourn. The wicked people bear rule. Okay? So, when we look at the world that we're living in right now, are people mourning or are they happy? They're mourning, man. Okay, because the wicked people are in authority right now. When the righteous bear rule, the people rejoice. No one's rejoicing. Everybody's sick. There's more people that's sick that's fully healthy. Because you have the wrong power structure. Great Britain is the wrong power structure.
That's right.
They don't know what they're doing anymore. They've lost the knowledge of governing the earth the right way. All right. Now what they're doing, they're trying to get the youth to accept this sodomistic behavior. And if you talk about it, guess what? You're gonna get arrested. Or if you don't take your children to the public school systems, you're gonna get arrested. Because it's intentional that the government or the powers that be, they want to destroy your children. They want to destroy your children. This is what they want to fucking do. Go on, bro. And I don't cut you because I don't have no kids. But man, if I had kids, man, I don't know what I would do. You know what I mean? And hey, man, I'm gonna say this too: that the brothers that got kids, hey, may the Lord be with you, man. That's all I can say. Go on.
It's for the next generation, and he's again working his brains. He imparts it in the next generation, like he's already been doing it. That's why you got this generation already. Not the majority of it, but a good chunk of this generation is already falling for that shit.
Right.
So by give him another 3-4 generations, man. Everyone's believing everything.
Yeah. There was a clip on Tariq Nasheed. He's not an Israelite. He doesn't acknowledge himself as an Israelite, but the current events that he does are quite good. And he showed a transvestite in the schools dancing around, doing the striptease. That's what he said.
And the children selected. I'm sure. You know, you got the children clapping and shit.
Yeah.
They're already falling for that shit.
And the books now, when we was in school, we had books about maths and English and maybe some pictures in there. Now they've got transvestite books.
I know.
Now, going into details about sexual innuendos and I couldn't believe it. But I'm going to do a video on it anyway.
And that's why that Proverbs 29 is so important right now, because what I was saying to the brother there, it's like Esau's lies are starting to be uncovered, man. So the people are starting to see his bullshit. And that's why, and his bullshit is spread everywhere. That's why you've got all this stuff going on in Hong Kong, France, Ecuador, all these places. They're all these uprisings. This is what we want.
So that's just the whole thing. I mean, it just goes to show you that, and what the Most High is showing us is that this man has to come out of power. Esau has to stop ruling, man, because if he continues to rule, we're fucked.
That's right.
Okay, go on.
This is Sirach 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. a man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies.
Right, man. We're not seeing that right now. We're not seeing the fall of our enemies and enjoying our children. This is the quite contrary. We're seeing that our enemies are rising up, and we're seeing the falling of our children. Okay? And that's the whole thing. This society is under a severe curse. The whole planet is under a severe curse. To the point where there's really no point trying to get with a woman. Because what comes out the women? Children, right? So if you know the state of the planet and the state of the people that's walking in the midst of this planet, and you know what kind of wickedness that's being brought out of these people, you don't want to be having to see your child out here, man. You know what I mean? That's just the thing. Anyway, brother, read what you got.
Psalms 149. I'll start at 5. No, I'll start reading. I'll read the whole lot. It says, praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of the saints.
Yeah.
Let Israel rejoice in him that made him.
Right, it says, let Israel rejoice in him that made them. Go on.
Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp and harps. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people, he will beautify the meek with salvation.
Right.
Let the saints be joyful in glory, let them sing aloud upon their beds.
Right.
Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth,
Yeah.
and a two-edged sword in their hand,
Keep going.
to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron,
Right.
to execute upon them the judgment written.
So that's how they're going to be persecuted. Read that verse again, brother.
Can I just finish that?
All right, go on.
Dishonor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord.
Yeah, so go back to what you had. Yeah. So when the enemy is persecuted, the enemy of the house of Jacob, when they're persecuted, now we're going to rejoice. Now we're going to have the time and the ability to celebrate. Like you got Jake going into carnival or setting up these carnivalities, right? And they're pretty much celebrating for no reason. Yeah. Okay, that's what they're doing. But when the kingdom is set up, then they can do all of that. Okay, but we're not in the time to be doing all of that stuff. We're in the time of cussing this devil out and telling him how wicked he is, and that his ass is going down, and he's going to be pretty much fucking done in. Man.
Right.
Okay, that's what we gotta tell these fucking degenerates, man. Okay, go on, bro. Now I'm getting mad now. Yeah. Go on, bro.
This is Isaiah 14:4. That thou shalt take up a proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased?
Right.
The golden city ceased.
Yeah. How have the oppressors ceased, and how have the golden city ceased? And that's talking about America, the so-called United States of America, which is really divided. Because when you look at the people, okay, you have two major parties, right? You have the Democratic Party, and then you have the Republican Party. But they're all what is it, man? They're all synced into that same beast. So even if you are part of this party or part of that party, you're not going to change anything. You're still under the same governance.
Yeah.
So what change are you gonna bring to the table? And it just goes back to my point again about these protesters about climate change, because they got this shield, this little Edomite woman, right, talking about how the earth is so messed up and everything. Come on, man, you know that's a shield. You're not gonna pull the wool over our eyes, man, with that crap. And that's why you got these protesters setting up, because they got emotional, because they heard this 14-year-old boy-looking Edomite woman speak, right?
Oh yeah.
And now they protesting. Come on, man. But see, Esau does that because they want to fulfill that what is it, man? Their thing is to start chaos. All right, order out of chaos. That's what they want to do. So they can set up shields to talk certain things that people want to hear, and then these people formulate together and protest. When all of that's going to lead up to is chaos. All right, and that's what the whole Brexit situation is.